Hey Hoffman. Well, now that you know how to log into Destiny, you know how to put books on hold in Destiny so that you can check them out, let me show you how to access your account. Well, as you may have guessed, once you're in the Destiny app, you go to login. Now, we already talked about how to log in, but let me show you again. Remember, if you're a student, you're going to have the first letter of your first name, you're going to have an underscore, and then your last name. You don't need the at student.glenview, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to worry about that. I don't have to worry about the underscore, though. You do. Then I'm going to have my password, capital G 2024 1234, whatever it is. Click submit, and I am into Destiny Discover. Again, you know that because the images might change. You're going to see maybe your logo here. There are a couple of important things to know once you're into Destiny Discover and you click on these three bars. And yours might look a little different than mine. That's because I have different rights than you. But you're going to go to checkouts to see what kind of books you have checked out. Now, me, that's a lot of books. And as you can see, Mr. P has a lot of books that are overdue. Oh my goodness, those books are almost 1 year overdue, Mr. P. What are you doing? Get it together. Oh my goodness, Alvin Ho is almost a year old as well. Oh, I have to bring those books back. But one thing I wanted you to see while you're there is some of your books that are checked out. Let's say nobody's really interested in reading them and you still want to read it. You can go right here. Look at this one, Bad Guys. You've probably read that one. That's a funny one. That's a great series. I'm going to click on Renew because you know what? This book is really overdue, but I want to let Mr. P know that I still have this book. It's not lost. I just want to read it again. So I click on Renew, and simple as that, look what happens. That book is due back September 29th, 2020. I have a couple of weeks to read that book. But I do know that I have all these overdue books that I've really got to figure out where they are, except, oh my goodness, I'm going to be in so much trouble. Not only can I see what books I have checked out, but I can see what books I have on hold. Now, you are allowed to have 3 books on hold at any time. As you can see, I have 3 books on hold. I have Guts. You guys know Guts. That's an awesome graphic novel. I have Refugee, one of my all-time favorite historical fiction books, and I have The Terrible 2, one of my all-time favorite comedy books. So I've got some really good stuff in here. Now what it says is hold ready. Now what you might think that means is, oh my gosh, Mr. P has been in the school, he has my books ready, they're ready to go. That's not necessarily what that means. That just means that the message has gone to Mr. P and he knows he has to get those books for you. Now, as we discussed, when Mr. P runs his list every single morning to see who put what book on hold, he goes to the shelves and then he checks those books out for you. You will get an email notification. You'll know when your books are in, but just because it says hold ready doesn't mean that it's actually ready for you. Remember, the way to know if it's ready for you is if it's actually checked out to you. So I go back to checkouts and I can see, hey, I don't see Terrible 2 anywhere. I don't see Refugee anywhere. Okay, you know what? I guess Mr. P didn't get to it yet. He's too busy trying to figure out where all of these 16, 20 overdue books are, which he really has to figure out. So that's just a quick way for you to know what you have checked out and what you have on hold. If you have any questions, reach out to Mr. Pucciarello.